in the front of the pack. We see him move worse spheres to the front, but I can't imagine that's just what you're going to windmill slam.
How good is Naiads?
I think Naiads is unbelievable.
I think it's very good as well.
You know, you've got enchantments. It sets you up. It's a good body for the cost. The ETB effect's very powerful.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it kind of combos with itself.
Right.
Because the more enchantments you draw, that means at least your 4/4 at minimum is
right.
getting
It's kind
through
of
unblocked.
4/4 unblockable for 5, plus somebody else gets unblockable the turn you play it. So, yeah, Shaun McLaren has definitely gone with the Naiads. It makes sense to me.
We see a pin to the earth in the pack, kind of awkward to ship when you're first picking another blue card that goes very well with the pin, but sometimes that's just how it goes.
All right, so Owen Turtenwald has taken a card out of his pack and passed the remains over to Shaun. Let's see what Owen left behind. Interesting. So some blue cards could go Cloak Siren, could go Triton Cavalry.
Nyx Fleece Ram going well with the Naiads, but not just the card that you want to second pick.
Eagle of the Watch there. White and Sightless Brawler. Wow, there's a lot of good white in this pack. I was going to say you really want to add another color right away when there's decent blue cards, but the white, I can't imagine what white card would have also been there. You know? Well, he goes Cloak Siren.
Yeah, no, I like taking Siren there. I mean, it lets you stay on color. None of the other cards in the other colors are so much more powerful than the rest that it's worth committing to them.
I look at that, though, and I'm now looking for an excuse to move into white, because white looks open.
Yeah, I agree.
It's only one pack. I mean, things can happen.
There was a Grim Guardian there. You see the Nyx Infusion here. Oh, wow, but
Sigiled Starfish, third pick. Speaking of signs that colors are open, both the Cloak Siren, which was good enough to take second, and also the Sigiled Starfish.
See the rare slot, a Hall of Triumph, reasonably strong card. Nyx Infusion, decent removal spell. You don't really want to be taking it this early. Starfall, not a great removal spell, and I think Starfish is the clear pick there.
I agree. Given that you're already have taken blue card, it's the best blue card in the pack. It's arguably the best card in the pack. Easy pick.
And it helps even out your mana curve. You've taken a 5 and a 4. You want some early drops. Starfish is just perfect at that.
Another Starfish. And a Hubris. Wow, blue is wide open.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the rest of the pack to see what other signals you're getting, but I mean, the signal you're getting is keep on drafting blue.
Yes, definitely. No, the white's kind of dried up.
I think after my first Starfish, I go for my first Hubris, but I think it's close. I mean, Starfish is unbelievable. Starfish.
I think. Hubris never does what you want it to do. I mean, it's so... It always putting the rest of the enchantments back in their hand always feels like a drawback.
Right, it's good against Bestow, sort of, but not really, and it's actively bad against the other regular enchantments that they may have.
How good do you think Dr. Mystic is?
I love that card because, you know, you kind of like can dig. I like the information that I get off of it. You know, when it's behind, I can dig to an answer. I get to know what I'm giving my opponent. Plus, I like having one-drops in this format that does something, because I think it's not nearly as tempo-intensive of a format as it used to be, but there's still a lot of really good 2-1s. The Mystic can trade with those, so I actually like the card quite a bit.
What do we got? Thassa's Ire? How good is Thassa's Ire in Limited?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's, yeah, I mean, tapping is better in this format than it is a lot of other formats. It's an enchantment, so it triggers stuff.
Yeah, untapping is also quite good. I mean, the fact that you can attack with your creatures and then and you just leave mana untapped, are they going to crack back? Like, you just untap your guy and block.
It's
they
really
they don't make you spend the mana that way. You can play something like the 3/2 Flash Flyer he's already gotten.
And it is one of those things where the threat of using it sometimes is better than having to actually do it.
Yeah, Devourer, we're down to Devourer as the only blue card, so it may be time to stray, although maybe not.
I mean, Devourer, you know, goes well with the Naiads, you know, gives you some enchantments.
Still a dorky 2/6 for 5.
Yeah, 6 is a big number in this format, though. I mean, it blocks a lot. I mean, it's definitely not a great Magic card.
Are you going to defend the Octopus now, too?
I'm definitely not going to defend. I'm not going to go hunting for gods with an Octopus.
He literally has all blue cards at this point.
The Leeches is late in the pack, though, but, I mean, obviously with all those blue cards, it's hard to now play like 10 Swamps. But
sure.
I mean, the Mystic is fine, but not the best, and then the Devourer is fine, but not the best.
I think Devourers are better in combos, right? Like if you're actually going to use its ability to do anything, you want multiples.
Yeah, no, I was definitely meaning with the cards he already has. I think once you have one Devourer, you can take another one, but it looks like he goes for Worse Fears.
He did. He took Worse Fears.
Oh, man, a really, really late Eagle of the Watch.
Yes. This was the pack that had all the white cards.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe there just weren't many white cards at the table. I mean, you could have one of those situations where there are not very many white cards opened, therefore there's not very many white drafters, therefore somebody can move in later. It's a late Starfall, too.
That's a really late Starfall.
I would have been tempted by the Starfall there.
McLaren, like me, just enjoys toughness on a creature. Solidarity of hero. Oh, yeah, okay. That's
now,
not that great.
Clearly you're blue at this point. How do you feel about the other colors right now?
I think I'm not really committed to another color. You know, you have like one fine black card that you probably can't play, one fine white card, a reasonably unexciting red card.
Your black cards are not that exciting.
No, they're not.
You have like an Eagle of the Watch.
Yeah, I mean, I basically think you're firmly in blue and not really in anything else.
Right, so it's if you open a bomb of any color, you get to take it and just make that your second color. It's actually really nice. If you can stick to one color through the first pack. It only really happens when you first pick a card and then that's also the underdrafted color. Right. But when that happens, it means you have a lot of flexibility going into pack 2.
Randy, what I'm really looking to do in the second pack is actually go into red. I think that it's, it tends to be underdrafted, and blue-red just got a lot better, you know.
He passed flat nothing in red, right? Did he pay, I guess the late Starfall. He didn't see, I would have taken that late Starfall.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think
you and I both like red in this format. Yeah. Or at least like the gambit of pack 2 red.
Yeah, and I think it's, it's not as though he's taking a 5-mana unexciting card anyway with the Thassa's Devourer.
Chorus of Tides is the thing he shovels to the front. And there's the Sky Guard. It's not as good as it used to be. Yeah, I still like it better than Chorus of Tides. Maybe not when I'm not white yet.
Yeah, and you're not that into white. You don't have that many things to target, which you'd need to pick up. I don't hate Bolt here, but I like the Chorus of the Tides pick.
Better than Flutterstep Eidolon?
It's close.
Yeah, I think it's close. He didn't seem to strongly consider the Flutterstep, but
I hate running Flutterstep out there, meaning that it's usually a 6-mana enchantment. A lot of my blue cards have evasion anyway.
Sure. Wow.
Wow.
White was open.
Ornithark 2? Jeez.
And Eidolon of Countless Battles. Wow, there were just no white cards, I guess.
Nyxborn Tribe, but you've got to take one of these cards. I mean, you know you're getting paid off in white.
Oh, jeez. There's a Fall of the Hammer in this pack.
Man.
There's even a Acolyte's Reward in this pack. That's insane.
I think you
got to
take
a white card.
Eidolon here, right?
Are you sure it's better than Ornithark? I think it is better than Ornithark, but I'm not sure.
I'm definitely not sure either.
Yeah, now Owen Turnwald's going to pick this up and say, third pick Ornithark?
Yeah, right.
What's going on? We will get to see what LSV took out of that pack when we watch his draft. It'll be interesting to see.
But, that's a fall, which I think, again, you have to take.
There's no blue cards.
Yeah, there's 0 blue. I mean, fall, you can open yourself up to red. I don't want a Thassa's rebuff.
Yeah, there's no white card. You're not going to take Hold It Back. I think you take Fall of the Hammer.
Yeah, and that way you just see what's coming to you, red or white.
It's kind of speculative, but there's no card that he knows he's going to play, so you take the best card in the pack. That's easy, Fall of the Hammer.
Well, is he really considering, like, Worst Fears and the Leeches?
Weight of the Underworld.
Wow.
He thinks black is his other color.
I mean, he's got Leeches. He's got Worst Fears, which we saw him looking at in pack 1. I mean, and take pretty aggressively, but
Hero of
Fall
Heroics,
is just a much better magic card.
Acolyte's Reward, Loyal Pegasus.
That is a late hero. I mean, that is a loud and clear signal for white.
Yeah, white was open in the first pack, too.
Man.
Take the hero.
I mean, you are just getting paid off right now.
Only if you actually, he does take the hero.
Yeah, I think you have to.
All right, and now I'm definitely thinking blue-white, right?
Yeah, and you've got that Eagle of the Watch. It was a quite solid card already.
Right.
Faded Retribution, not really the deck that he is, but...
Vortex Elemental might be a better pick.
I'm a big Vortex Elemental fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Faded Retribution is so expensive.
We see him looking at Servant of Timuret, but I mean, I don't think you can abandon blue. Yeah.
No, you can't abandon blue. It's black versus white.
Yeah, exactly. That's my impression of it. And Vortex Elemental gives you another creature to play early to make your Eidolon even better than it already is.
Another Chorus of the Tides.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear pick. You're looking at red.
Red. I mean, he didn't move into red. He's got all he's got is he didn't even speculate on the fall, right? He took a black card instead.
Right. Yeah, I think mainly your lesson there, if you're Shaun, is just noting how deep red is.
Yeah, I wonder if Owen is red. Owen might have gotten the hookup in this pack because Shaun has passed him a bolt and a fall of the hammer. Like somebody on Shaun's right has gotten a red hookup.
I think Shaun has actually maybe passed 2 falls of the hammer
and a bolt of
and a bolt of Karanos. Yeah, so that is a loud signal.
Okay, Crypsis, second Vortex Elemental, revoke existence. What's your pick?
I would go for a second Vortex Elemental, to be honest with you. I just really like that card, but I mean, you need some targeting for your heroic cards, especially if
How much heroic does he have?
White. I think he's got Hero Virus right now, and I don't think he has anything else.
No, he passed the Skyguard.
But some of the premier white cards you're looking to open in pack 3 are obviously, you know, Wingsteed Rider, e.g. This
feels like somebody on his left is blue.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's LSV or further to the left.
Another Krogma Butcher in that pack. I mean, Owen, if he opted into it, is just getting paid.
Whoever's red is getting paid. Eidolon came all the way back.
Yeah, I think you've got to be pretty excited about that.
Agreed.
The Hero of Erois can make the cost a lot more manageable, as well as give it a great target.
It's a pretty solid blue-white now, right?
His blue, oh wow. This Hypnotist is really good right now. He needs more early drops. It goes really well with the Crypsis.
Oh, sure.
But his blue, he has a lot of it in pack 1. Some of it's not all that good. I think I actually like Rebuff here to, you know, just play kind of a tempo game. I mean, it's not a great card.
I don't think it's going to make the cut. He's not really hurting for playables. He takes Sphinx's Disciple. He could take Hold It Bay.
I kind of like the Hold It Bay, to be honest. You can target your heroic creatures again. He only has 1 right now, but
like I honestly don't know which of those I play more often. I feel like they're both in the 30% make the cut range.
Yeah, I guess I feel like he just has a few just sort of random medium-sized flyers and not that many tricks. And actually preventing 7 to you if you're in a race in the air can be big game.
I only really like Hold It Bay though if I'm a heroic deck. I guess with just less heroic running around now that Journey into Nyx has come out. I think that does make the Disciple better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I am liking Shaun's deck. I mean, he's got a few synergies. He's got some solid enchantment creatures for the Whitewater Naiads. He's got a couple of bombs. He's got good evasion. Doesn't really have any bounce, which you kind of want in a deck like this. Thoughts Desire can tap down some of the major threats if he wants to, but, I mean, I think you need a couple of removal spells to solidify your deck. It's actually kind of a deck that wants a Divine Verdict coming out of Theros.
Sure. Rising Scholar. How about a Biden Tefasa?
That is a pretty good card to move right there to the front. We see a Lightning Strike continuing the theme of good red cards, but I mean, I think Biden's just an obvious pick here. You know, the curiosity effect, when you damage them, draw cards. Obviously, the most powerful effect of that card can win a game by itself. Making all your opponent's creatures attack, very, very solid and limited.
Comes up. Sometimes you just want to force their blockers to be tapped. Sometimes you can get their creatures to suicide into your creatures.
Right.
Definitely a relevant ability.
That Horizon Scholar there in the pack, not a bad one, but I mean, Biden's just a level above that card.
Fresh and Chimera, not much.
Yeah, nothing super exciting. I
mean,
think
Aqueous Form, Suppression Chimera, right?
Yep, we see Magma Jet continuing the theme of sick red cards. Ill-Tempered Cyclops, red the most powerful color in this pack. I think you go for the Chimera here. You just sort of supplement your Air Force. Aqueous Form, he's got at the front of the pack, but I think Chimera in this deck is just a far better spell. So many of your cards already have evasion as it is.
Mm-hmm. Goes Aqueous Form. I think that may be a curve pick. You know, he's got a bunch of 4-mana 3/2 flyers. Those aren't cheap. You know, 3/2 for 4 can be a little clunky sometimes. So adding a 3/4 for 5, I think he's worried about having a little too much top end. Well, God's willing. It's exactly the trick you want. Triton Fortune Hunter.
Fortune Hunter is very good, but he just doesn't have that many ways to target it. I think you have to go with God's Willing here.
I agree. I think God's Willing's also just better.
Yeah, right. This is a better Magic card.
I mean, if you had a million tricks and nothing to point them at, okay, fine. It's close enough that you can take the Fortune Hunter when that's what your deck needs you to do, but I think God's Willing's power level is just that high.
You know, he doesn't really have right now that many great targets for the Aqueous form, but I think that, you know, if he's able to just pick up some random 2-drops, it starts to get
like
a lot
Omen
better.
Speaker?
Like Omen Speaker.
He's got a Battle-Wise Valor he can look at, a second Aqueous form. Opaline Unicorn doesn't seem super relevant. It's the second Sentry of the Underworld, by the way, that's gone by. If there's a black-white drafter out there, he's going to get hooked up with double Sentry.
I think you need the Battle-Wise Valor here just because you don't have any balance or any real removal.
Right.
So
now you can win a fight.
Right. And that might be one of the reasons that he wanted a form, is just to be able to sneak some other creatures through.
Now is it Omen Speaker time? It's better than Battle Priest, right?
I think so. Scry 2 better than the occasional life. Fire Drinker Satyr, Deathbell Raiders in the pack. I mean,
I don't think Owen's red.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're learning. Somebody at the table is, and somebody at the table is getting just a ridiculous volume of powerful Magic cards. And we've got those Omen Speakers. I mean, Shaun's going to have a plenty playable deck with a lot of good cards.
Yeah, his deck seems fine.
Wow. Wow.
Hello. Turns out he's the only blue-white player.
Battle-Wise Hoplite and Daxos. Jeez.
Crazy. Which is better?
I think Daxos. I mean, the card advantage is good. The life helps you win races.
Battle-Wise Hoplite's a 2-drop.
It is a 2-drop.
I agree with you raw power level-wise. I feel like it's a curve that's close enough that you make the curve pick.
I mean, you've got Shaun has 2 Starfish, an Omen Speaker, and a Deepwater Hypnotist.
He does not need a 2-drop, so you get to take the better card.
We see a late Ill-Tempered Cyclops in that pack. Rage of Perforos. Owen can't be in red. We take Last Breath's a fine Magic card. It's the only real removal he has, but, I mean, not great. Wow. What is happening? A late Wave Crash Triton.
And Nimbus Naiad.
Very late Nimbus Naiad.
Nimbus Naiad's the pick for
sure.
That Wave Crash Titan. Like, I'm shocked to see Naiad here. I mean, you would have been happy to get past the Triton here.
Yeah. I mean, Naiad is a, second to fourth, fifth pick quality card. A card you first pick plenty of times.
The Sentry came back around. There's probably not a black-white drafter.
Actually,
kind of good news.
Yeah, it is very good news for him. Sentry also just brick walls a lot of Shaun's creatures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he's happy nobody wanted that as it made its lap.
That Ray of Distortion actually pretty good there, too. I don't think Shaun has an back. Wow.
Bingo. That worked.
Yeah, it worked out extremely well. I mean, maybe Shaun just had the read and thought he could table it. Yeah.
I mean, he started blue, and the color that was most open was blue. So you know what? He's getting past blue cards. That is how it works.
Lost in the Labyrinth there. Probably not making his deck.
Yeah, I might have killed the Minotaur just in case there's a Minotaur deck on my left.
Yep. And we're at the point of the draft, just not a whole lot left.
Yeah, if the card's not going to make your deck, then I often just take the card that's most likely to help an opponent. All right, so what do you think of this deck?
I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's great. I will give it like a B.
B?
Yeah.
Closer to a B minus or a B plus?
I'd say closer to a B minus.
Yeah,
I hate the lack of removal in the deck.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm on B minus. What do you think though of the way Shaun drafted his seat? Because I mean, often like getting an A deck just isn't possible because you didn't open bomb rares. The people around you made decisions that thwarted you. So I feel like the best you can really do in a draft is draft your seat. What do you give Shaun? What grade do you give Shaun?
I give him a kind of a B for his seat, and I would say that that's just a pretty solid B. I disagree with the prioritization of Way to the Underworld. I don't agree with that at all.
You would have speculated on Fall of the Hammer.
I would have speculated on Fall for sure. I mean, I
didn't change the deck he's actually going to wind up with. Like, I think blue-white was... I think he's in the correct colors.